So if we just summarize some of the reasons that we're seeing such low impact from the photonics from the South African photonics industry within a global context is that there's fragmented research, development, and innovation across these various sectors. And components that lead to this are that there's low local content of a lot of these technologies within South Africa. A lot of the sectors are import dominated, and there's limited collaboration between HEIs and industry. And also there are not a lot of manufacturing capabilities set in place. So this is where we want the photonics prototyping facility to play a role in actually assisting and trying to overcome these challenges that we're experiencing in industry. So the purpose of the facility is to facilitate the development of prototypes, which result in products that satisfy a market need associated to photonics-based technologies and devices. So in this process, we've identified various stumbling blocks or problems that are leading to a lack of prototype development within South Africa. One of these areas is that there's a lack of skilled manpower, as well as cohesion between the various sources needed in prototype development, as well as a lack of the necessary infrastructure needed to house and develop prototypes in taking them from a concept-based state to a market-ready state. And so this often leads to a lot of technologies developed within South Africa experience a very long time to market. So the impact that the photonics prototyping facility would like to create and wants to see is the creation of new enterprises and a skilled workforce in terms of product development in the photonics landscape, as well as to stimulate global exports aligned to the photonics industry and to improve the current industry competitiveness of current photonics-based companies by shortening the time to market of technologies developed within South Africa. So, as mentioned before, the impact that the photonics prototype facility wants to see is we want to increase revenue as well as perform import replacement of current technologies within South Africa. So how we're going to go about approaching this problem is we can either look at it from there are institutes that have developed technologies, such as HEIs, industry, entrepreneurs, or on the case that industry approaches us with an industry need or a solution that we can provide in helping them overcome some of their product development issues. And targeting these areas will be done through various stakeholder engagement initiatives. Okay, so if these institutes have technology or concept that has a very strong link to an application within photonics, this is an ideal space where this technology can get developed. So the PPF will then play the role in terms of optimizing the prototype for this various technology. And this will be done in an iterative process, closely aligned with the market or the client, so as to get the prototype to as close to a market-ready state as possible. Okay, so as mentioned in some of the talks previously, what we're experiencing is this innovation chasm, where we're trying to move from research to commercialization. And the PPF is trying to bridge this gap by by embarking on prototype development through processes such as designing the prototypes, performing the fabrication of the prototypes, and this will all be done in an optimal and iterative process. So visually, how this can be viewed, and I'll expand on this in some of the upcoming slides, is that the PPF will provide the necessary infrastructure, technical skills, and networks to assist in realizing this to take place. So ideally, we see technologies coming from various research councils, HEIs, industry, and entrepreneurs, and through the offerings of the PPF, we want this to lead to new technologies being licensed out to industries or the formation of SMMEs.